All right, I think we're back. Let me also, before I go too much further, redo the introduction a little bit, because nobody would have been able to hear what I said at any point. Let me also, real quick, just delete the previous video here. We don't really want to have, aside from not having any audio, it's also, like, obviously not audio that I have permission to broadcast, so... Don't want to get in trouble. Let's see here. Yeah. Can't be undone. Can't be undone easily. Let me before I forget, I'm gonna just do the Twitch one as well. I guess I can probably do this here. Let's see, I don't think there will be anything that's like... I have to like show my password or anything, I don't think. Let's see here. So it's gonna be in here somewhere. I actually mess with... I don't know if I've ever had to delete a video before. Content? Unpublished? Is delete and unpublished must be... Yeah. Okay. Alright. Now back to regularly scheduled program. Thank you very much, Cedar, for the heads up. Yeah, I had it set up to record the meeting. I recorded a backup of the meeting, which has volume from my desktop instead of microphone. Well, in addition to, I turn the microphone up when it's my turn to speak, but then I turn the microphone down when it's not. That way, there's no background noise from me like clacking on the keyboard or doing anything. And yeah, I totally forgot to switch them back, so I had desktop audio on. You all got to hear my my music instead of me talking. Okay. We should be back though now. All good. Let me listen real quick. That's the other thing I didn't actually do was yeah, okay, we're good. I've gotten so much in the habit of always pausing and muting any of the preview streams, so that way I don't hear myself, but in this case that actually would have saved me a little bit if I could have heard. So maybe I'll have to try to remember to listen to the beginning, make sure it's actually talking and not music. Alright, so yeah, to recap a little bit what I would not have been able to, what you wouldn't have been able to hear earlier, I'm working on changing the docs for Wi-Fi Connect. This grew out of this PR from the typing library that Dan separated out for us recently. And Purples, which I think is like Michael... forget Michael if Michael's has a last name on their username or not. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. They're on show and tell sometimes. They were adding the string type to the readable buffer. Readable buffer here is basically just like a list of possible types. So this kind of is like a single type that, you know, substitutes in for any of these ones that are inside the union here. That way you have a single argument that can be any of these. Then you can actually type it with readable buffer and you don't have to have this big long thing copied near as much. Nice. Yeah. All of my audio engineering experience is strictly OBS and streaming, which is... I've been going for a little while now. I was actually thinking back on it, and I have been doing the streams on Saturday for a while, but not too long. And I just started doing the backup meeting recordings like maybe a month and a half or 2 months ago. So like before that, my OBS volumes were just always in the right way, all the way up for the microphone and then all the way down for the desktop, and I just never changed it for years. But I started swapping them back and forth for the meeting. So that's what we're trying to do, is just update the docs because it was listed out here like, you know, we don't actually necessarily want to add string. There's some reasoning about whether string does or doesn't have the buffer protocol, and it looks like it's maybe different between CPython and CircuitPython. But the real outcome was that we want to update the docs on string. And so I made that change, and I was just looking into trying to figure out how to build the docs. Sphinx? Does this have Sphinx? Maybe. So that's for the library. Maybe it's just the same thing, though. I don't know. Is there a docs? There is a docs. Okay. CD docs. CP docs. I have a. No dice. README. There's README. Might have a command in it. There we go. Make HTML. Okay, yeah, we just need to probably install typing. Ink from here. All right. Here. There we go. Looks like we're right along pretty well. It looks like it did the stubs first, so maybe it generates the stubs and then it makes. And it uses Sphinx from those. Oh, saw some red. Something wrong with the ESP-IDF? To do with a PNG file. I think we got errors on all this stuff. Although it is all ESP-IDF stuff. So is this the export thing? Do I need to run export maybe on the ESP-IDF same way as if I was going to make a build? Just like dot space dot export? Is it IDF? Export? There, okay. I don't know, does that affect other terminals? I don't really know what that thing does. I think it's setting environment variables, so it probably does other terminals. Module isort. Are we in the right place? No. Interesting. Module isort. Is that a pip thing? Okay. Sorting imports alphabetically. Okay. Whoa. Sorting imports alphabetically. That's interesting. But it does look like that export was our problem, because we failed differently the next time. Module black, that can't be true. Black. How does this... no. Does this tell you to get black? At least it wouldn't be in this one? Let's come through pip. Not found. Huh. Wish this was more exact sometimes. Most of the time that I use it. Black. But it doesn't show installed here. I have no idea how I would have gotten that installed. Just found the binary and put it there? That doesn't seem very likely. Alright, well, if we install it with pip, is it gonna know use that one? Mess up this one? Should have checked a version or something before I did that. .8.b1, is that what this set it installed to, or? .22. Okay, so that kept my other one aside. But I should be able to import it now? Yeah. Alright, so can we... Can I just install that? A virtual environment going on? So. I swear I just installed that. This is even still coming. 3? Those are the same. Okay. Maybe we're getting farther. Getting about as far as we got the first time, at least. I wonder. It's not gonna go far, but so pip 3 I did the first time. Maybe pip 3 installing to a different place than just pip. They both go to Python 3 on this computer. No, this is all the same problem. Hmm. Let's look if there is any tips in here. There's a hint about how these get built. So this does not run make HTML. Instead runs a command more like the library docs building. What directory it would be in. Also don't know what versions these things would be set to. Describe. Can I just leave version out? Here we have a comp file. Is there one in the root? There is. Okay. Maybe we just need to be up one. Okay. That's start of the same kind of output, so maybe this will end up failing the same way. Maybe make is actually just running this when we run make HTML. I don't know how to tell what happens when you run a make command. In here, HTML. Standalone. Yeah. So that basically does run. We should, I assume we fail the same way. So I don't know. I think we made it farther. Got yellow stuff this time. Auto API. Warning treated as error. So it did fail, but it didn't fail the same way. Consecutive header level. This is like, I mean, this must be actions for GitLab, wouldn't it? I assume. Probably shouldn't be really looking in there. Or if I'm like out of date on these things or something. Same error. Then let's see. Yes. Did get a green from a commit 6 hours ago. View the build docs. Does it know when to do? Go. And this one succeeded. Oh, that's helpful. We have the versions and stuff. I wonder if it's mad we're not including a version. I mean, surely Make would be doing this, though. Four 440 is the same version here. Actually started this the other day, where I just cloned a new copy. Already doing stuff on here anyway. I was thinking I hadn't made any. This one is in a test environment. One consecutive header level increase. I mean, I'm sure we're not supposed to be going in here. This is more. I bet that's what's causing this. HTML does run Sphinx and may do other things. This is supposed to run the same thing. Asked in the help or in the CircuitPython dev Discord over here. Dan answered me back. I think that maybe ESP32S2 got renamed to Espressif at some point. And it doesn't, either I didn't do the update the right way, or else Git updates doesn't allow it to like delete the local one for some reason. Maybe because I had some yellow git ignore stuff in it. I don't know. I think though that ESP32S2 folder actually is not currently in CircuitPython, and so it's probably old also. There's an ESP-IDF in there. I assume that's like an old one. Maybe it had something old and messed up in it. MathJax2. X2. Ls config. Oh, that's a good sign. This is a purple link. Sphinx. Okay, so I've gotten this before. Do you have anything in conf that says anything about MathJack? Oh, requirements. There's no MathJacks or anything in here. Pip install -r requirements. Stock. Oh, upgrade. Okay. Fingers crossed. Going. Util stubs. These are not installed. Not really Python code either. I feel like we made it farther. Indeed. Underscore build, so root underscore build? X? Okay. Whoa, that was way faster. It also has different results. That's interesting. Why would that be so much faster? Well, I mean, I guess it's probably faster because it has fewer things to look through, which is also probably why it had a different list. That was really fast. And I thought the whole searching would have been done with just JavaScript anyway. But like being remote versus local, I wouldn't have thought would make a difference. Maybe it does though. It does look like we got strings. Cool. I wonder, we should probably change these too? Yeah. We might as well. These are probably all in the same file. Oh, we have like highlights. Let's add a little bit. We have highlights from this. And we also have highlights from this. Wi-Fi.radio. All right. Do one more build, make sure that page looks good, and then I'll make a PR. I didn't actually say anything on that other old typing one. I wonder. Hopefully, what I found fixed this last time. This MathJax thing doesn't really ring a bell, but the link was purple, so I must have gotten this before. Honestly, none of this thread really rings a bell. Just kind of scrolling through it real quick here. It was just upgrading Sphinx from 3 to 4, but I did have Sphinx 440. Alright, no more readable buffers. So we got hostname is a string, MAC address is a string, MAC address AP is a string. Down here, I think, start AP, string, connect we did first, and that's everything. Cool. So let's go make a branch. Get checked out. -b Wi-Fi doc string types. From Adafruit main and track. And anything else accidentally? Okay. Yeah. Looking good. Homie guy. All right. I think the next one, keep going here. Yeah, I feel like pretty good in here. We might as well stick with that. I'm interested to play with TwitchBot stuff. I may do that off stream at some point. I don't know, maybe we'll do it still after this. Let's try to tackle one more of these. I think the next one of these things that seems within my reach is I don't think this is the one, but I am curious to read this. Okay, different value counts. This. $40 by $240. I wonder if we could use a clue. Approximate this. So if I understand direction here, read through this at one point, but why don't we catch back up? Simplest for on-disk bitmap to run background tasks for every pixel. Check for having no background tasks to do is pretty cheap and would hopefully be inlined. If I understand right, the direction that Scott has there is basically we currently have this code, which is in display. I'm going to start by making a new branch. I always make a branch at the end. ODB on-disk bitmap USB background. All right, let's close these. So right now inside display, probably shared module. Display here. Module display. So this is line 323 or thereabouts. It moved since the time this was put up, but let's see. We have this code, which is inside of refresh area, which can get called multiple times per screen refresh. The screen, I don't know all the details, but it's broken up into different areas, and then areas can be either dirty or not, and if they're dirty, it triggers them to get redrawn. And if they're not, then they might get skipped in the refresh cycle, just to leave the data that's there and don't change it. So this is getting called each time that we refresh an area. And we have this code that says if we have, I assume like, if USB is enabled, is roughly what this is. I don't know exactly what the Boolean boils down to, but that's kind of my guess. If that's USB enabled, then run this USB background. And if I understand right, the way we want it to, or the easiest way, because I guess some kind of scheme like Dan has mentioned here, where it could actually know if it's taking a long time and then call USB background might be ideal, because then it would never call it when it didn't need to. But I think Scott's saying it's unlikely to be much of a bad thing if we call it when we don't need to. It should go quick if it's not actually needed. Let's do... It's time to pick the next list here. All right. So this would be the more efficient way to go about it, because then it wouldn't do it unless it was taking a long time, quote unquote, however long that's determined to be, or based on whatever it uses to figure out how long it's been. Scott's saying it should be pretty cheap. So this is like inside of here, which I guess is inside of OnDisk bitmap. Here. And so this is actually within the display refresh. This is actually refreshing the pixels, every single pixel in the OnDisk bitmap. So I think we just need this USB background inside of here. It's common how, yeah. So this one gets called from inside of tile grid fill area, which I guess is different than what we were looking at before. This gets called from in there. Each pixel, a pixel read does a seek and read of the OnDisk bitmap file, which is what all of this code is doing. Kind of get a sense for that. We're filtering our way through to a certain length inside the bitmap, and then using some kind of shifting and ampersands for getting the actual different color values out. So I think, so this is just a return. So if, basically if we're outside the bounds of the bitmap is what that looks like to me, then it just returns 0. So we might as well do it after that. There's no sense in doing a USB background if we're just going to return, like, if they didn't ask for a legit pixel, I guess. Or is there? Maybe we should do the background stuff. I don't know. We'll put it after. Put it after and see if Dan or Scott have any ideas. Okay, there's our seek to get to the right spot. And then read from that spot. And then doing some shifting to get the actual colors out, it looks like to me. So I think here, maybe. So does this thing, and bear in mind, I don't really know C very well. Does this get imported or something? This is the only time it appears. It does not get imported in this file. Is there any kind of USB type of importer? Include, I guess. USB H. I wonder if that is what has. Maybe let's grep on USB background. Browser port. SBH. That is one of the things it said. Maybe that's where it got it from. Yeah. Okay, so I assume we probably do need that. I'll try a build without it. I assume it will fail if we do need that and we don't actually add it. I also don't want to add it if we don't actually need it. I don't understand how the code works. Like, just fundamentally how C code works, how it's importing, including stuff. I don't actually know for sure if it fails at compile time or what. So let's go iPortal. iPortal. Add me. Yeah. iPortal Titano. I don't have the full project hardware that this is from, which is really the kitty paw pad. But maybe we can approximate enough of the code to test out whether or not this actually solves the problem. So I think we can. Well, maybe a clue would actually possibly be a better platform to try this on, because a clue is going to be slower. What is this? This is a CircuitPy RP2040. Okay. Other EFT. It's not as big of a display though. Oh, okay. Background not found, something like that. Yeah. Then I do think maybe we probably need this. Oh, K at the end of that. Where's no auto reload when saving file on SAMD21? You know, I had that the other day, but it was on On something else. I haven't been. Or was it? It wasn't. It was on SamD21 because it was the Itsy Bitsy. I had it out when we were looking at the .star PR. Hmm. Maybe I'll bust back out. I don't know, did I put it away? Still be on my desk here. That doesn't look like it. Oh, it is. Why don't we give that a try real quick? I don't have the camera all set up, but really much to see anyway. Just gonna go here. Like we got to build. So what I'm gonna do is print up here. And then here, but I'm not gonna save yet. Instead, I'm gonna go Control D. That's gonna run. Now I'm gonna save. Yeah. Oh, I really need the second CircuitPython open anymore. Let's close that. It sounds like Dan might have a fix. Were we connected to the REPL? Let's try not being connected to the REPL. We didn't try that. Our script do something that we'll be able to notice, which .star we might as well. Board. So when this runs, it should make the .star red. I have no light right now. Control C, Control D. Now I have red. 55, so this should be yellow. I save, and I still have red. And we haven't run again, and this didn't print down here. Change again, it should go to white now. Save, but I still have red. Control C, Control D, and now we have white. Save, still white, Control C, Control D, yellow. Yeah, that seems pretty much consistent. Oh, but I was still in the REPL, I guess. Let's Control T, Q, out of the REPL. Although if we get out of the REPL, okay. Let's do reset. Yellow. Save. Oh, it changed to red. Ah. Sorry, now I'm... said earlier I don't have the camera, there's nothing interesting to see, and now I'm oohing and eyeing at what I can see. Yeah, it is changing. This is working. So it does have something to do with the REPL being open, probably. detour. This did build. So first thing, let's just do some basic on-disk bitmap test to just make sure we didn't totally break anything. We'll try to set this up here. Hold on. We'll be back. Okay. Heard strange sounds, which turned out to be something to do with the cat being on the counter, but it's not what I would have guessed from the sound. Hey, no fighting. Just on the counter. Possibly trying to eat something. Flips afterwards. I mean serial when the REPL is active. Yeah. Main serial. Wait, is it like, I think there's a way you can do this. Right, let's grab display-o. Got here, I think we can just do purple flowers, I think, right? There's purple flowers in here. Oh. Oh, hey. Neat, I didn't know that was linked. Might have this already, I don't know. Nope, not yet. Oh yeah, this reminds me, we need to do a sweep through library code. Got all of the backwards compatibility stuff. I have Winamp right now. You should be okay to just remove this. Go ahead and update it. I'm sure it's probably either the same or either way. Truthfully, the code is checked in already to version control, so it's not like we're gonna lose it if I delete it, but okay. We got our purple flower. And it looks normal to the eye. It's washed out or whatever through this camera because I don't have lights and coming through the best, but it looks normal. Real life purple flowers, just like it did on the page. What is interesting? I didn't know you could use tile grids. I mean, I knew you had to have a tile grid to display an on-disk bitmap. Did not know you could change the indexes in the tile grid when you're using an on-disk bitmap. What does this original image look like? Sorry. Daydreaming a little bit. I already had a copy of this. Okay, that was our image back here. Okay. So the real code must not be using 0 all the time, right? The real code's changing the index, which is causing it to actually draw the different parrots. Which I totally did not know you could do with an on-disk bitmap. I thought you had to use image load if you wanted to, like, manipulate the tiles. Yeah. What would A and P? Oh, okay, these. What would A be? Oh, these are backguards, I think. Comments. Does A ever change? Doesn't. Yeah, it looks like it's always 0. I mean, honestly, that should just be hard coded to 0, I think. Oh, I can't just like search for A though, right? This is gonna return a million things. A equals? A equals? 1? Yeah, 1 match. So A never gets changed, which means this is always paired 0 grid 0 equals, and then P does change. P is going up. Looks like each time you press a button, which matches, I think, the video, right? Whenever you press A button, it forwards one frame in the party parrot. Interesting. Okay, so my learn something new every day today is, well, actually, this is new to me as well. Does this work? Is this valid code? Oh, from? Yeah, I guess it would be. It's just interesting white space. Anyway, though, the real learn something new today is the fact that you can use tile grids with on-disk bitmaps and still change the tiles. I totally thought you had to use image load for that. That's actually really cool. You could do some interesting stuff with that. You can do animations and stuff. I guess, I don't know, is it faster if you use image load? Not actually sure. On-disk bitmap is not, like, terribly fast. You can see it refresh, like old school video loading or whatever, image loading. Dial-up modem days, so let's bracket this. I think let's just do no keyboard. Well, we definitely don't need this. We have our display built in. We're gonna need parrot sheet. I think let's turn that off for now. Let's start with just turn all of this stuff off for now. See what this does. Valid syntax. I might be on a version that doesn't show. We had this problem. We had this problem recently where it was not continuing to show the terminal after CodePy finished, but it has already been fixed. Anybody watching this is interested, I think I worked on testing the fix for that a little while ago, maybe a week or two ago on stream. Let's go bootloader this. I'm sure this has got to be what, like probably the 10th copy of PyPortal. Well, 720 is new though, actually, I guess it's probably. Yeah, okay. 720 is new enough that it's only have one. Although, actually, I still see nothing. Okay, what does the actual error say? None type. No attribute show. Display? It's display none? Couldn't be. Or dot display? False. None. Whoa. Wait, what? Is this the wrong thing? Do you use equals for none? I do get this confused sometimes. No, that's the same. And this is telling me not to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that is multiple levels of weird. Is why is display none, first of all? But second of all, if display is none, why is display not none? Did I install the right thing? PyPortal, CMD51. Import board. Dir board? Is board.display gone? This had a board.display. Am I crazy? Did this have a... yeah, no, it does. It did, and it still does. None. Okay. Well, that's, I guess, half of the mystery, sort of. It's maybe a quarter of the mystery. Board.display is none, which in turn is why display is none, but why this prints different results, I don't know. And also why board.display is none, I don't know. It does seem like the display is not initialized, though, because it's like full dark, no backlight, no blinka, no terminal. Yeah. We probably need to reset also to get back from that, I guess, because it probably does realize that at the very beginning. Okay, so yeah, the code was written for an external display, which requires always running display or release displays. So I released the display because I didn't take that part out of the code. They got released, therefore it was none. Therefore all the rest. This part though is still a mystery. This should have none. That is bizarre. So after you release the displays, board.display is empty-ish, I'll call it. Some parts of the system think it's none, but the comparator does not think it's none. That's my theory. So import display.io, display.release displays. No, let's not yet. Import board. Okay, Okay, now display.io dot release displays. Okay, so my screen just went dark on the PyPortal. Print board.display none. Print board.display is caps lock kills me, but so does the shift key, so it's false. Okay, that's an interesting discovery. I have asked in the chat if that's much of a problem or not. I can't think of any like consequences of that would cause trouble. I saw flashing lights. I don't really know any consequences of that. I mean, I guess if you're trying to check if the displays have been released, it's difficult, if not impossible. I don't know how you could check for it if not this. I don't know how often you really need to check whether the displays have been released or not. Usually, if the display got released, it's because you called display.io.releaseDisplays like I had in this before. Generally, you wouldn't need to check afterwards if it's still there or not, because you know it's not because you released it. Maybe if you were trying to make some project that like hot swap displays, like you release one and then initialize another one and do something and then like release that one, and maybe in that case you might need the logic. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can recreate the original problem, which I think let's not do keys as in buttons. Yeah, let's not do keys. Let's do it. How do I want to do this? Let's do it before the while loop so that it only runs once. And then let's just... Do we have a length of this? 0 equals 0. The name of this? This is Parrot 240. So it's basically 1 by 10 tiles, and they're 240 by 240 each. I still did release the displays. And that was after show, so we didn't actually get to see this print. So let's save again, and then just reset button, which will get our display back. Okay, I think this time, whoa, I think this time it errored before the terminal. Yeah, okay, so it has no length. Okay, so I guess makes sense because I think I saw in the party parrot code just had an if statement resetting it. I think was counting. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't, you don't necessarily know its length. That might be an interesting thing to add, is if it could tell you how. I mean, I guess it would have to be from the OnDisk bitmap, though, wouldn't it? So you could actually take OnDisk bitmap height divided by tilegrid.tileheight, and that would give you the number, I think. Let's try it. For I in range. So bitmap.height over parrot.tile height. I think I still have not updated my stubs, but this does exist in CircuitPython now. And it would just be this, but I. And I don't have any, like, time.sleep. Maybe we should put some. Eventually, I think we'll take that out, because really we're trying to make it run super fast, but let's see what this is like. So this will run through the full list of 10 once. Okay, I probably don't need the time.sleep. Forgot that redrawing that many pixels is already fairly slow, or maybe it's not, because this time we did not even see anything. Maybe we do need the sleep. Do need the sleep. Interesting. Okay. I do think we got to 10 though. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. It was basically just saying whenever a thing gets pressed. Or let's just say 1. So we did get exactly 10. Did that time also. Okay. So what they were describing was like it double pressing. We don't seem to be getting, so we haven't yet. So I don't know if this is like UDev or something. I don't know what Dan used to read here, but yeah, multiple key presses. Only sending one key press and then noticeably delayed. Corresponding key release. I guess I don't really know where the release comes from. I guess it's inside of, both of them come from inside of here? Okay. I think, let's get a clue. Let's get a clue. I think a clue will be a little bit slower than a SAMD51, and also we'll have buttons, so we could hook up the buttons. Whoa. Oh. Alright, actually I want to keep a copy of that code. Well, no, we'll just recopy it from GitHub. We'll do fewer buttons. We only have 2 buttons instead of 4, but... Oh. That was Nico Cat, which we definitely have a copy of elsewhere. Untangled here. Save this, it'll crash because we don't have... Oh, well, right, we gotta go and redo our display stuff. Take out release displays. Learn that lesson. This, but this will just be display. And I think let's just set up 2. I think there's like button A, button B? Button A, button B? Yep, sure is. Now it fails because we don't have parrot, right? Oh, nope. Some other reasons first. Now we fail because we... Okay. Made it to here. Ah, there. Okay. We got it. So I pressed A and B real fast, one and then the other, but both were like press release, press release, press release. And then we got that long string of B's was actually because it thought B was being held down. The computer did. We also have definitely a noticeable delay. Yeah, there we go. I got it again. Okay, okay. So we can reproduce that. So now our true test, back to where we actually started here, was if we build with this fix and then try this again, does it not do that weirdness? Inrf? Build, no. Make board that clean. All right, fingers crossed. Oh. Did I not? I just made a build. Do not all the builds require this? Not found. I don't. I don't understand how I got successful builds before without that. And I'm almost positive I've installed that before. Did I do pip 3? No, I did pip. Yeah, I copy pasted it with pip 3 before, and it did install a different instance of it or something. Oh, you know what? This is not changing the party parrot. Oh, I guess because that's just hard coded to 0. I see. Okay. Always do something like this. We get started on 1. So it'll show 0 the first frame. So then the first time we click a button, we want to go to 1. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we could just say if p is greater than 9 equals 0. Back. Theoretically, I think that means you now get actual party parrot action going on. Yeah. Sometimes. Oh, I didn't do p plus 1. Yeah. Do it. It's like it was going so good there. The first frame. Now we got a dancing parrot. We are getting the, I am seeing the, these long chains again also. Sometimes. Interesting. Now the real $1 million question is, will this one work? Will this one not have the same problem, I should say? Not really a $1 million question either, though. Clue. Oh. Nope. Didn't fix it. Right out of the gate, we got one. Yeah. Let's see if that code we added is actually getting called. Probably gonna head out here pretty quick too. I don't have committed to memory how to print from the core. I've now copied it from here at least 2 or 3 times. Okay. Curious to see if that's getting called. But truthfully, I'm probably headed out either way after this test run. If you're still here, Cedar, thank you again for the heads up on the audio. Been a big bummer to go for almost 2 hours and then realize it at the very end or something. Boy. So if we don't see any new print statements, then we know that like maybe this code could still solve it. It's just that we're not actually calling it for some reason. But if we do see print statements and we're still getting those big strings of stuff while the characters are held down, then you know that this is not actually solving the root issue. Let's go bootloader. Be interesting to go back to the for loop and see if the clue ever double presses any of the buttons. We didn't get any double presses from the PyPortal, but I think the PyPortal just also has a faster processor. Like, it can chunk through all those pixels a little bit quicker. Ooh. Okay. We're definitely calling it. Oh. Yeah, look at that. We slowed it way down by adding that print statement for every pixel. But it is definitely getting called. Huh. I think it just restarted again. Okay. Yeah. Let me just drop regular CircuitPython on this so I don't... Next time I grab the clue, it's not doing something all crazy like this. So it looks like USB background... Calling USB background extra times does not allow it to send the HID release any more consistently. We had that in there and we still got all the doubled up stuff. Even when we didn't have the print slowed it down even more beyond all of that, but even without the print, we were still getting the doubled up A's and B's. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, we gave it a try. We learned some stuff along the way. It's always good. Got some experience building and finding the print statement again. Gotta commit that to memory. Let's find a better place to copy it from. But all right, I think I'm gonna head out for now. Thank you again to Cedar. Thank you to anybody else who may be watching. I will. Next time I'll be back probably on my own stream is on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central. But I will be guesting on Deep Dive on Friday. I'll be on there for a little bit to talk to Scott on Friday evening. So you can catch me there as well. Thanks, and I'll see you later.